and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
In this video, what we want to focus on is our typical travel day. Now we have two different ones, but we'll start with
the one where we're going somewhere. We actually had someone ask, what does a typical day look like for y'all? And so, one is where we are going somewhere.
if it's the first day on this trip should be about 550 miles. And so we will leave early. By early, it'll be after daybreak, but it'll be 7.
It'll be daybreak, thereabout. But whether it's driving from point A to point B, or it means that we have camped for free outside of a park and we're going in to explore, we're going to get everything done the night before that we can.
And that means Sharon will make our breakfast to take with us.
We used to, when we first started traveling, we had said, I'll cook one day, you cook one day, and we'll alternate. And that will be fair. Whatever you dirty, you clean, and that's that. Folks, I'm much more of a morning person. And so on the days that I'm not cooking, I'm getting up and I'm wanting my coffee. And she's sound asleep. And so after...
Or just not moving real good.
After a year or so of that, we changed it. I do breakfast, she does lunch, and then we alternate dinner. And that has worked for us.
That works beautifully.
So for the days that we're going somewhere, I make a lot of jerky before we leave, enough to try and carry us through. We'll use that as our protein. If we're having whatever kind of fruit we're going to have, I'll try to have it peeled and ready. Sometimes I don't necessarily get it peeled because I want to put as much in the van as I can the night before. I have the coffee ready so that as soon as we get up, we turn on the inverter, we turn on the coffee pot, and by the time we are dressed, the coffee is ready, we grab it, and we go. I'll usually have dry cereal for breakfast. She likes toast for breakfast, toast with some honey on it, so she has to put honey on there the next morning. But the breakfast is ready, the coffee is ready, and we're ready to hit the road. Like Mylena was saying, if we're traveling from point A to point B, we do as much as we can so far as hitching, and getting everything stowed away that we can. So, as a matter of fact, when we left this last year, we left Theodore Roosevelt National Park. We were heading into South Dakota. We went on the night before, hitched, went and emptied our tanks, filled our fresh water tank, and then just stayed hitched in our campsite so that the next morning we were ready to roll. So that's the kind of stuff that, if it's a travel day, that's what we do. If we're going into parks, when we went into Yosemite, we got there early and we had our choice of parking spots. And if you'll notice, we have a video about Yosemite by bike because we would get to that parking lot early enough that we had a spot next to a tree where we could open the door and had plenty of room to get our bikes out. And then
I had made a lunch almost every day.
She
packed a lunch for a sandwich, pretzels,
vegetables,
fruit, and it was on ice. And
she has it in the refrigerator ready to just put in a cooler with some ice packs on top of it and go. So we put some, we have things ready to go. And like when we got to Yellowstone, that Artist Point at the Grand Canyon of the we'd seen videos, horror stories of this parking lot. We got there and I think there were 2 cars. Well, we got there at about 7 in the morning. And it was September. But we got there, we had the place to ourselves.
I like traveling in the shoulder season when we can because there aren't as many people.
The days that we are getting up and going, she has And folks, those picnics, when we were at Yosemite,
Yeah.
we have, I think every day she had picnics ready in the cooler. We put them on the bikes with us, and one place we were just sitting on a bench with our little cooler between us and a little waterfall in front of us, and it was awesome. And then another one, we were actually at a picnic ground.
Looking at the waterfalls.
Yeah, the big waterfall on that one. And so it's awesome. It's saving us money. It's saving us time. You're not spending time standing in a line waiting to overpay for something that you really don't want. The other typical day we have...
Oh, but this is not... Because during our travels, we like to talk. Both of us like to talk. If you're traveling 10 hours in a day, and we have done that, we don't have 10 hours of stuff to say to each other. We listen to books on tape.
Yeah, audiobooks are awesome. She downloads...
And it helps.
Yeah, she downloads series.
Uh-huh.
And that is a lot of fun. She has found some amazing series. And that really makes those long drive days go
Doable.
by. Yeah,
Yes.
a lot faster. And so, yeah, that is a great thing. And then also, those long drive days, we eat breakfast on the road.
Yes.
Lunch, sometimes we will, eat the fruit first and then wait until 1:30 or 2, depending on how long the drive day is, sometimes 1:30. And we purposefully stop. She's not having to spend the time making the meal, but that way we can just be out of the van.
And so can the pets.
Out of the van, give them time. I get the dog out. We walk wherever we are. We're going to be walking just to get some energy out of him. Let them get drinks. Let them go to the bathroom. Let them have time when they're not in a crate. And just have a break in the middle of the day. If it's somewhere where we're trying to get there we try not to get to a dispersed place late in the day. We want to have a chance to scout it out and see what we're doing. But sometimes if it's we need to get there by whatever time, we will eat lunch in the van and just take shorter breaks along the way. But at gas stations, when we're filling up, we both get out.
Yes.
Usually Mylena goes around and fills the tank, and I wash the windshield. So you've seen all those streaks. That was me. But we both get out so that we move some.
Yes.
When we're filling up with
We're
gas.
of an age, if we don't do that, we won't be able to move.
But the longer days, folks, if we're spending the night at a Cracker Barrel, we're going to find something to either buy for dinner or for breakfast to thank them for letting us park in their parking lot. Walmart, you can always find something that you need.
Desperately.
But a lot of times, if we're spending the night there, an easy thing is to get a rotisserie chicken and then just heat up some veggies to go with it, and you got your meal done. But, if you're staying somewhere...
Patronize.
Yeah, patronize if it's just an overnight stop. And then once again, that night before we go to bed, we try to get everything ready for the next day to start out with. So,
let's say it's a day when we are not traveling.
So, yeah, the second kind of day we have is where we've traveled hard, we've gotten there, now we need to just...
We have some downtime.
Not get back in the van. We don't have anything that we're going anywhere. Typically those days, this is going to sound terrible, but we have oatmeal a lot because it's not just oatmeal. I put fruit in the oatmeal. So sometimes we have peaches, sometimes we have pears, sometimes we have bananas, sometimes we have mangoes. Whatever it is, we chop that up, have that in there. Can put a little creamer on it if we want to, but essentially it requires hot water.
Yeah.
And so that with some turkey bacon, coffee, and that is an easy breakfast, once every couple of weeks, I'll make pancakes. We have a griddle where we do that, and once again, turkey bacon, and I fix breakfast. So days that we don't have big plans, we just sleep in, because a lot of times we need to do that, and that's the breakfast. And if we're somewhere where I can,
she's fishing.
I'll go out fishing if I have a license for that area. Or, the dog and I go hike and explore some. Those kinds of things.
And because Sharon does all of the repairs and really, all of the driving, I try and clean up the RV some. Just, like your own home, it gets dirty and you need to clean it up some.
And then she fixes lunch. And once again, basically the same thing, the sandwiches, pretzels, fruit, vegetables. And we alternate who does supper.
Yeah.
Once every couple of weeks, week and a half, we have a chore date. And on the chore day, depending on where we are, but usually we'll get all the laundry together, and by then we're going to need to fill a propane tank.
And we may need to
wash, if it's a road like going to the Sun Road was last year when we were in Glacier. We both get the laundry in, get it started. Then I will take the propane tank, go fill up propane tank, go fill up the gas in the van.
And if it needs washing, groceries.
If we need groceries, either we will both go, or I will go pick up whatever it is we need while she's waiting for laundry. And then it's not an all-day thing.
No.
But it is something that we tend to do on a down day.
Yes.
On those days that we're driving, we like to go and get there, and get that part done, and not have other things like laundry to do on top of it. But we do, when we have those down days, we have a Coleman Camp oven, and I love it, and I'll use that to make some sugar-free muffins for us to have as dessert. Once every couple of weeks or so, get something out, make that. And so, folks, we enjoy, our dispersed sites are usually some of the most amazing views you can imagine. And so, being able just to sit at our campsite, down days, a lot of times I'm editing videos. We don't upload them until we get home, just because we don't want to have to sit and wait. We did that one time. Tried to sit and wait while a video uploaded, so we schedule videos for while we're gone that upload automatically, and then when we get home, we start posting the videos from the most recent trip. But I will get them edited while we remember what we saw and did. And then while Myleena's doing laundry, usually she's catching up on comments. If you've made a comment, she's in there replying to that while our clothes are washing and drying. And so we love, I stand amazed at the fact that we have been able to go and see the things that we've seen, the diversity of God's creation and our country is just amazing. And we've gotten to see an awful lot of it.
Yes, we have.
And so, anyway, those are pretty much our typical days.
Yes.
When we can, we try to talk to locals who may be able to put us on to, good dispersed sites or things like that. But that's how we do it. That's what's comfortable for us. And just want to tell you, if you're starting out RVing, you may be like us and think this is how it's going to go. Be willing to say, okay, that's not the best. Let's try this, and be flexible. And for us, we travel really well together, but those down days are part of the reason that we do, because we both get tired.
And when we're tired, we don't always communicate well, and that's the only time we have any trouble is when
disagreements,
one of us has said something, the other one says, "What?" And they say it the exact same way, and the other one's still going, "There's something you're not telling me."
And anyway, and so those down days are necessary for us. But we are retired, so we can, and that makes it super nice. But anyway, that was a question that came to us. If you have questions about our travels, feel free to leave a comment, and who knows, at some point we will probably, if she doesn't answer you just in the comment, we may, if it's a longer answer, we may ramble for a while. Anyway, we appreciate the questions, we appreciate the comments, we appreciate the views.
Yes, we do.
Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.